Kuzuzampo and a very warm welcome to Bhutan This Week, our weekly news magazine program with me, Sangi Chizom. Our top stories. His Majesty the King appoints Colonel Chimidoji as the new Chief of Police. Education Ministry's move to procure local shoes and socks for central schools questioned. And the Royal Academy of Performing Arts to certify its trainees. His Majesty the King appointed Colonel Chimidoji as the new Chief of Police. 56-year-old Colonel Chimidoji from Ha was serving as a Deputy Chief of Police. He joined the service in 1985 and is also a recipient of Ruby Novoyeza Medal. His Majesty the King appoints the Chief of Police upon the recommendation of the Prime Minister. His Majesty the King also promoted 12 senior armed force personnel to the rank of Colonel. Opposition questioned the ethics of Education Minister and the government's conduct to procure local shoes and socks for central schools. The issue was raised during the question hour session of the National Assembly.
The Education Ministry signed a memorandum of understanding with 2 local firms to supply shoes and socks to the central schools. This is to support the country's economy by limiting import and encourage and promote Bhutanese enterprise and business. But the move, according to the opposition, is promoting monopoly.
Dani bodulu sheril henganga tule ta dumi ta phejigi ta sherigi ta lobda tewanal gumi chumju gaaranga chinga tule dubigi chum yena je te di phiochin te dilwe japchu nango je shuni dizumbe da lobda na yumi aluchugi gyoncheju te chaladi jupcha male tengube dibo chemnidi ta gaaranga gi chemgi sewajin te dilwe japchu nango je shuni ta guchudam dibodul dalba thotipdi 랄룰루 디 고갑지 랄룰루 고법 디 마나마지 메투브제 슈니
땡아지게 콩기 성람디 레좀 주니기 될 접질 피고 슈니라 나기 자질레 슈이 대표달로 나기 디와디 콩기 성기 꼴레 면세 슝기 균지 남색이 꼴레 이이세 공펠 땅골라 접질 배골라 대표달로 팀기 낭큐루 팀춘배 메디기배 접질 배골라 파 땡아지기 다또 디와디미디 담바 림보치다 슝기 긴치 남셀레 계획이 게디기베 나남좀집이 도매세 사팀 침목이 사신 구비기 주버데 태가도 계수둘라 슝기 코르기 때나 제익데디 태가도 계수둘라.
The Education Minister said the initiative to promote local firms is in line with the government's economic self-reliance and private sector development policy.
gonche denden du telet piche denden du tannalu ngachigi lamlugi mitubello siju mindulo set labdeni member beshimda mipdochi bechin dedik zodigi be te ngachirigi nangkhigi anidi damkha begobdi te khachiu be thomme dare ngagi chu dudigi be shuwachin te ngachirigi peljornalu tap madu bomsho nangden chele gedigi be 칠총 남의 섬에 뉴음베 배울랬던데기 배답 마두데베 템미메 다레 아니 세니기 고갑 나치기 긴두 칼로 해 보달로 나치 가르기 때 잡주르치 피디기 배 때까진 짜나 시슈닐.
The memorandum of understanding with the 2 local firms was signed in September this year. Sunampem and Phupkem for BBS News.
Instead of amending 16 clauses of the Marriage Act 1980, the National Assembly decided to formulate a new act altogether. National Assembly's Women, Children and Youth Committee had proposed the amendments. The members of the National Assembly said the existing Marriage Act overlaps Penal Code of Bhutan, Child Adoption Act of Bhutan and Inheritance Act of Bhutan. The act was amended 4 times since its enactment in 1980.
때 나저기 대리 자식 배우달로 튀닌 배우달로 연선지 레린이 잠지 멤버 배심달래 때 아니 자팀 나동하기 슈미 셰미 자팀 nga 둘라 나지기 시십 통토프라 태까도 닌기 닌들기 자팀다 대화 탑급딜라 아니 별리 땐디기 디 굴레 주라 마치기 때 자시 베디기 베다 닝게 짜팀디 때 튀닌 베다 배 마셔봐 베심들래 때 굴레 주스스라 자시 베디기 베
닝기 주주 템마진 때들 미시기디 마바라 때 함고 때 공 로열드 수게 때디 너스미 라카탐메스 슈니라 아니 베니디기 다디 록디라 삽지 텔레 shum베라 에오칙디기베 때 셴다 바친디 칼류에 때 탑데 토토 님메세 딜룽아라 카툴레 때 잡저시부 유스 슈니라.
The committee's chairperson, MP Thongju said even the penalty incurred for flouting the act is not relevant to today's time. He said it has to be upgraded. The committee also informed the draft for the new act is ready if the members want to discuss this session. However, the House decided to discuss the draft in the coming summer session of the Parliament. With additional reporting from Sunam Choden, this is Sangi Chizom for BBS News. Women, Children and Youth Committee of the National Assembly reported the House that rape, suicide and abortion has been increasing over the years. The committee recommended the government to carry out an in-depth study on the issue and come up with preventive measures.
The committee informed the House that over 200 rapes were reported in the last 5 years. The report showed that maximum victims were children below the age of 18. Likewise, suicide cases has also been increasing with some 400 cases in the last 5 years.
Samfegi chalo nokonara tore menka jinalu denalu kholo teani yenchu thunbi soi shabto tewase ani bedodo shuni ani ransorangi che chinidi mahopchap te tametangobbe losumgirinlu tametangobbe zoshina tetigi tokedi registry dinamseme khache toto 선생아지기 registry 디땡때치미노 다 registry 데 구트다이 데텔린 쇼인진 데텔린 동간날라발로 소이 구벤데서 데 코나루 gen쿠치 다니 란소랑기 찌니데 마법잡고베 데티게 라베다 이슈니라.
Another issue was the rising abortion cases in Bhutan. According to the Public Health Department's report, the committee said more than 1,500 cases of abortion were recorded last year alone. Women in the 20 to 49 age group had the maximum abortion.
토끼 유미디 마셔라 데티스 마렘레 데 miscarriage shume English 인케나 베바친 데 알루 쇼미 아니기메 당가 저러기 사게 랑곱디 나처럼 침떡 야합 날화주 달레 데 탑라메바 나처럼 나루 또또 팀다 데수기 아니 지 미비벤디기 데 공기 알루 뗀베 원시나 되기 뗀다 탑 마데오 템이디 레셔라 온디 유슈니라 다니지 데 나치날레 멘초피니 마토치볼로 데테날 베탑카냐미노 데 암술랄루치 세치 찬냠라 탑 마데오 템메 다니게 나루 톡청기 카툴레 데 십설치 레지베티 베고베도
당아치 암수다 알룰루 다 소이기 샵투디 마투 투페 퓨니기 된달레 테 멘카체 소소베라 잡디기 유 다 케진레 템비기 reproductive health sexual the reproductive health kit 테가 협달루 테 마투 투베 땡아치기 윤테다 테 콘루 초도 옙소니디 남세미 카체라 알루 루 왕송 베미디디 투브라미투베 팀데디 yam menase.
Several recommendations were made to be submitted to the government. With additional information from Kipchu, this is Gilly Youngton for BBS News.
The government can neither regularize nor extend the duration of those teachers recruited on contract. Labour Minister Nyumasangi Chambo said a 4-year plan is already in place for employment of teachers in the country. Today, the Education Ministry has 424 teachers on contract.
레베 자첩 작수 베니 뎀고 베니 꾀자 베니 가로 와세디 시월 hensol로 예비세 슈니 계중 시월 hen속이 파 주도라미디 레베 럽정 베미 자첩 이루 nga저 지디 시월 hen속이 카툴레 코라 비세디 따고 지디 인텐기 된레 nga저 레베 주탑기 된레 데 차지티 조고 오세 다니 벤디기 코라기 데 nga저 코라기 세지지
Trainees graduating from the Royal Academy of Performing Arts will now be receiving certificates after completing 4 years course. It has been 62 years since the establishment of the institution, and none of the students were awarded certificates.
Royal Academy of Performing Arts has been preserving traditional songs and dances for over 60 years now. In Bhutan, age-old tradition and culture is still the cornerstone of development process. And awarding certificates to these trainees is one step towards ensuring continuity to these performing arts. The Academy, in collaboration with the Labour Ministry, has developed a curriculum standard during a 5-day conference recently. And soon a curriculum will be formulated for the trainees. The research officer with the Academy, Kunzang Doji, said there was no proper curriculum till now, because of which the graduates were not certified.
Till now, apart from just dancing, performing marks dances, and playing music while at the institution, there are no opportunities for the trainees upon completion of the course. Due to lack of certificates, the graduates could not earn a living outside the institution.
The graduates from the Academy will have the opportunity to pursue degree courses after acquiring the national diploma.
After getting trained for 4 years, instead of leaving the institution, there are no other opportunities. Now, with the help of the certificate, I see an opportunity even in the schools as a culture instructor and culture officer in districts.
These certificates will be recognized by the Royal Civil Service Commission, which will change the lives of over 100 trainees of the Academy for good. Tamchuzam, BBS News.
To heighten performing arts in schools, a YouTube channel will be created soon for all different drama productions put up by schools in the country. The Education Ministry expects this initiative to bring out the best in students to new possibility of expression and a chance to be positively exposed to the world. YouTube is a free video sharing website that makes it easy to watch online videos.
The idea of bringing performing arts in the curriculum is not just to promote drama, but to give students the platform to engage meaningfully. Performing arts in the curriculum will also give teachers the tool to educate children through a different approach.
Recently we had Rangjung Central School, we had the students come here and they performed The Murderous Mansion of Mr. Uno, and they did so well. They were really so good, and I think Lynchin was there to watch the show, and it's basically his idea and on his advice that we should set up a YouTube channel, and all the different productions, not just our MOE productions, but even any school that puts up a nice play production, we are going to shoot it with BBS, and we'll make a channel so that everybody can watch it.
Performing arts is not just about drama. It is an amalgamation of drama, music, dance, pantomime, and musical theatre. Performing arts can be important in the holistic growth of students.
It is their encounter with dance, with drama, with art, with music that's going to help them, and especially when it comes to interactions with the world, these are the things that I think really help. On the other side, of course, it helps in developing communication skills, confidence, your entire stance, and it's kind of helps in development, emotional intelligence as well, and the development of right and left side of brain, which is extremely important. This is something I think we neglect in our part of the world.
The Education Ministry initiated performing arts with the reintroduction of Shakespeare in the curriculum this year. YouTube is now one of the most popular sites on the web, with millions of visitors around the world. And it might be a chance for talented students to attract global attention. Sunampem for BBS News.
Fluent language skills, high self-confidence, and high academic grades. What more does a parent need in a child? officials of Early Childhood Care and Development says all of that can be achieved with one simple step: reading to children at an early age. Parents can play a critical early role to instill a lifelong love for learning and reading in children.
Experts say one of the best ways to build language skills and cognitive development is to read out loud to children at an early age. According to American Academy of Pediatrics and American Professional Association of Pediatricians, maximum brain development occurs in the first 3 years of a child's life.
We read to young children, we assume sometimes that the child may not be able to understand. But if we look at how the child is able to speak at around 2 years, we realize that whatever we have said or whatever sound the child has heard in the first 2 years of life is actually absorbed. And then at a certain point, the child is able to reproduce these in the words that the child is able to speak.
Reading to children also fosters their relationship, thereby promoting their social, emotional well-being.
If it's a bedtime reading, he's also, I think, understanding the words, no, from the parent from his parents or the caregiver who's reading to him. So that way he is also listening. He's also looking at the parent, no, and he can understand the actual, the expression that he can feel emotionally. He's really been supported. So there is so much promotion in their well-being also, no. And in the meantime, as is this at this lays is early years that lays the foundation for a lifelong reading and lifelong learning.
Parents are the most important educators in a child's life. They should create a reading atmosphere where children can enjoy reading. Laying a foundation at an early age is important so that reading will become a habit and not a burden. Kilyangden for BBS News.
Wangchuk Sam, the 400 feet long bridge built by Construction Development Corporation, sparks concern over its safety among the people of Yangbari and nearby villages in Mongar. Barely 1.5 years after its completion, the longest belly suspension bridge in the country is in dire need of repair.
Wangchuk Sam over Kurikongri River was found sagged or drooped at the center barely few months after its completion. The sagging has now reached beyond permissible limit. The Construction Development Corporation, which is sought after by organizations and companies for expertise in spanning bridges in the country, has witnessed its own flaws. The bridge, expected to last over 20 years, can be seen shored up at the center by chains for extra support to prevent the span from deteriorating.
Trucks and many other vehicles use this bridge, so I'm afraid looking at the condition of the bridge, I don't know what will happen. 5 months ago, I was told that the bridge will be repaired, but it has not been done till now. My friends are also saying that it is very dangerous to travel.
The Department of Roads, which has taken over the bridge after completion, has implemented weight restriction on the bridge. But people are worried that it might lead to catastrophic failure with no one to monitor. The bridge connects Mongar with Pemagasal, benefiting thousands of people. The Construction Development Corporation is yet to ascertain the cause, but launching defect during the construction is suspected to have led to the problem. The company plans to replace the chains with new suspenders soon. The Roads Department said the corporation, along with Indian bridge experts, will repair the bridge by next month. The repair work is expected to take over a month at an expense of more than $1 million. Compiled by Chetan Rupcho in Konglong, Sonam Penjor, BBS News.
People of Lunana are reaping the benefits of helicopter service. The introduction of the air service has greatly eased the lives of people in Lunana. Lunana remains cut off from rest of the world by snow on passes for around 5 months of the year.
The mountain passes along the Gasa Lunana and other routes remain blocked by snow and ice in winter. Traveling to Lunana, therefore, used to be the biggest challenge for people of Lunana. But the problem has now been solved with the introduction of helicopter service. People of Lunana now hire helicopters to travel and transport commodities from Punakha to Lunana.
The helicopter service has benefited us a lot. During the winter, most people move to lower and warmer valley. And when somebody dies here, it used to be difficult for people to come back here. But now, since we have the helicopter service on demand, it is very convenient and can travel whenever we want.
Besides easing difficulties in traveling, the helicopter service has helped save many lives. So far, 7 patients were evacuated from Lunana alone.
Okay, what's good is if you can wrap this around the baby and around you.
Helicopter de tuition ta thana ngara te tanja te inda to be gita chupdulu institutionela in chupdulu te ngara amso de allocate bebe.
In June, my wife had some complications related to pregnancy. The health assistant here contacted doctors in Thimphu and they sent a helicopter immediately to take my wife to the National Referral Hospital free of cost. An ambulance was kept ready at Lunthifu. The helicopter service, therefore, has benefited people like us a lot.
According to Royal Bhutan Helicopter Services, most demand for service comes from the people of Lunana. This year till date, nearly 40 flights were made to Lunana alone. People living in places where there is no road connectivity, including Lunana, enjoy a subsidy. It therefore costs some 65,000 Newton for an hour to hire a helicopter to Lunana. For the first time, with the help of helicopter service, schools in Lunana opened on time this year. Teachers along with essential items were airlifted to Lunana. Owing to the demand, the Royal Bhutan Helicopter Service has already placed around 400 litres of helicopter fuel in Lunana. There are also plans to construct proper helicopter landing pads in Lunana. For Pemanamgi, this is Sunam Pem for BBS News.
By next month, the rural cotton and nettle fiber weavers will be introduced to newly developed semi-mechanized spinning device launched recently. It is to revive and promote the art of cotton and nettle fiber weaving in the country, which has almost vanished. The device is a local product developed by a carpenter from Tashigang. On pressing any of these 4-speed buttons, the fibers can be spun automatically within a short span of time. The machine can be operated with electricity. It is the first of its kind in the country. It is to replace the traditional method of spinning cotton and nettle fibers practiced in the eastern and central Bhutan. Traditional method is the lengthy weaving process.
So with the help of this equipment, people will take more interest to grow more cotton and also harvest more nettle fiber. So with this equipment, they can spin better, faster, so that their production will be also more. So if they have more production, they will have more income. So this is how EPIC is trying to revive our culture and to benefit for the rural people.
It can spin any kind of threads. About 3 machines will be supplied to the rural clusters in Samrup Jonkar, Tashigang, Tongsa and Pemagasil. Each machine cost over 17,000 Newton. This is Sonam Choten for BBS News. That's all we have for you this week. Thank you for joining us. This is Sangi Shizom saying goodbye.